Good morning, everybody. This is Patty, the Tinkerer's wife here in Portland, Oregon, and Tinkerer's Paradise. Welcome to my home and my garden. Today I'm out here in the garden doing some chores. One of them is to spray my tomatoes. Now I'm not spraying them for bugs. And what I'm spraying them is basically a fertilizer, which is in effect molasses, in a gallon of water, and then a beneficial thing, aspirin, that's dissolved in the same gallon of water. And the aspirin will help to cue the defense mechanisms in the tomato that help them to become stronger plants. The molasses has sulfur and a whole bunch of other nutrients in it that these tomatoes will thrive on. Now this can basically be sprayed on other things too, so I'm gonna be doing that just because I want to use it up, you know. But let me talk for a minute about the sprayers. When you have a sprayer, you need to definitely check it every year to make sure that, let's get in some better light here, it's kind of bright here, to make sure that the gasket seats well, and also to be sure that you washed it out after last year. I have been known to forget after being very tired and coming in and not washing out a sprayer. And one year it came back to bite me when the gasket and a couple of the plastic parts didn't appreciate having the oils from what I was spraying them on them. So I highly recommend that you wash your sprayers out, use hot soapy water, take them apart, they do come apart, and get all those little nooks and crannies and make sure they're nice and clean. Let them dry completely and then store them. You'll have a better time. Another thing I recommend doing is taking the gasket out, especially if you're not going to use it till next year, because that way the gasket won't collapse or be flattened, because it's just been in that nice tight position where it's been squished. I think part of what's going on with mine this year is the fact that it was all clean and everything, but I tightened it down really good and I should have left it up a little bit. It's kind of like when those of you who play guitar, you know this, when you store a guitar for a while, you want to make sure that the strings are loosened a bit, because you don't want that neck coming up and distorting, which can happen. Yep, my husband has worked on guitars and he's talked about that before, and I used to play violin, fiddle as it were, and yeah, you had to loosen the strings up a little bit. That helped to keep the condition of the instrument better. So I would recommend that you do those things. Also, you don't have to spend a lot of money on a sprayer. I mean, there's some little $7 sprayers around that are great, and that's all you really need. You don't need a big fancy one. Depending upon the size of your garden, there are 2-gallon ones. Those are harder to pull around. I would rather have a smaller one, simply for the fact that if I had a 2-gallon one, that's 16 pounds to lug around, and if I had to do it all over this urban landscape of mine, it gets heavy. And if you have a back injury or other kind of weakness in your body, arthritis maybe, it can be a lot. So unless you want to pack it around on a trolley of some kind, get a smaller one. So anyhow, today, besides that, I am pulling radishes. So why don't we get busy doing that, and I can tell you why I'm doing it. Now, I grew 3 different kinds of radishes here this year. The cherry rose, the French breakfast, and this one over here, I can't even remember the name of it. Oh, plum purple. And here is, that was cherry rose, and we just pulled all of those. They were just starting to get a little old. These guys, they're in the same bed. I got no bulbs on these. I got no bulbs on those in good time, and everything started getting woody, and we've got blooms. So I'm not going to be saving seeds off of these, so these are going to get composted. Yeah, so let me go ahead and get these pulled, and you can kind of see what's going on with them. Some of them They just had long. That might be okay. I might try it. Yesterday I pulled some of these and they were all pretty woody. That is a bloom stem, so this is definitely going to go. I'm not even going to save the other ones because it's getting too late. We're going to get way too hot here. Even the little ones are going up. Yeah, see, those are just not working. And I noticed that we did have a little bit of root maggot. Not bad. I've seen it really bad. Yeah, see that? Look at that. Whoa, big long root. There's another one that might be okay. One thing about gardening that I tell people that in my classes that I've taught, see if I can get that to, oh, it's not gonna, what is going on here? There we go. Kind of see it. Isn't that weird? Now that is really bizarre. I don't know what caused that. I'm not gonna save that one, even it looks kind of good. That one might be good. Okay, there's one bunch down. Okay, we're gonna get over here to the other ones, but I'm gonna move this bucket first. Those look good there, but I decided that they're not really very practical. These guys I don't think are gonna be very good at all. Whoop. Go ahead and prove me wrong. Here's one. I'm dropping things. So radishes are a cool weather crop, and with us getting our beds in as late as we did, I was kind of hoping that it was going to stay cool, but it didn't. Yeah, see, those are just bad. And it looks like a root maggot totally got a hold of this one. That one right there. Yeah, that's not good. So I'll have to get in there when I dig this bed up, because I'll take this bed up. Oh, I've got one of these beans came up. I've had a lot of challenges with this new soil. I've never had soil like this. This is not our native soil. For those of you who are new, we brought this soil in. We have a foot of topsoil underneath it that has been screened, and then we put this three-way mix in it here. And this three-way mix has proven to be very unsatisfactory. I had a horrible time getting things to grow in it. So everything now is looking pretty good. I'm realizing because of the sandiness of this soil that I have to water more often. I'm also fertilizing a little more with a three-way mix. It was supposed to have 40% compost. That compost turned out to be a lot of sand and a lot of wood. Look at that. This is Verbena officinalis. This is a medicinal herb. I had some of this growing just in a waste space in our yard. Here's some more. It's sowed there, self-sowed. Oh, good morning, little bee. I don't know, can you see the bee there? Where'd he go? I'm doing real good. I put my hand in here and kind of tell where he is. I don't know. I'm taking too much time. There he is. Yay, now you can see him. Yeah, these bees have been floating around here. I don't know what variety they are. I'll have to find out. I have a beekeeper that lives down the street from me, so I love it when his bees come and visit my garden. These are my tomato cages here. We did these last year, used them in these barrels. They worked really, really well. If you use these utility tubs, you can use these for your cages, and you don't have to worry about them. Oh, I see a bee that I don't like. I have You don't have to worry about them falling over. I stake them. These stakes are completely not going to work over time. I will get a like a cedar stake. I have some, but I don't have enough for these, so I did this just in case it got windy the other night. But they're getting really almost too big to get in here. I had a little bit of a struggle. Anyhow, things are going well. The sunflowers are growing really well. You can see how they're leaning towards the sun, and their leaves are all pointing towards the sun. It's really an interesting thing when you get these phototropic or solar tropic plants where they're following the sun, the light. This one, a lot of people don't know this, and I didn't know this till a couple days ago, but these will actually relax and kind of put themselves to bed. Those leaves that are pointing upward in the evening will fall more downward as they go to rest for the evening. So that's a fun thing for the kids to look at, for the kids to watch, rather. Another plant that puts itself to bed is this guy right here, this Chenopodium. This will close up like this at night. And I guess that's to protect that new growth in here. That's pretty cool. By the way, this is a yummy green, and I really recommend it. This is going to make a nice dinner. We're going to have some of that with the Swiss chard over here that's doing really well. Look at that. Yep, gonna be a good one. Maybe I'll get some of my beautiful tree collard here. We can do a saute with some of this. This is such a lovely plant, and it's growing like crazy. It's also leaning, it's kind of leaning to the southeast. We get a good eastern light in the morning, and our afternoon sun is not quite as strong because of all of these. So that's a good one. I have a cherry tomato coming on. Berries Crazy is the first one to produce a fruit. So we'll be watching that. And the herb bucket, look at that. That is just lemon verbena, which is like lemon heads. You guys got to grow this. It's a beautiful plant in my 8B garden with well-draining soil. This will survive easily back here. The Icterina, that's the varietal name of this variegated sage, a gold variegated sage. This is Burgarten, which has these nice big round fat leaves. Really good producer. I noticed though, I don't know if you can see it on camera, there's some spotting in here. That means that we have mites. Mites can be a real problem on herbs. I know, oh, I see it over here too on, you can see it over here on this one too. See those little polka dots? That indicates there's mites. And I'm going to be spraying some neem oil out here, so I'll hit those. Hopefully that'll take care of the problem. My poor lettuces, I need to do something with this bed. I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to do with it. I may do some, I probably won't do kales in here. I'm going to go ahead and do some more lettuces. I think that'll be a fast crop there, so that'll be good. This Trombocino squash, which will be really cool when it comes up over the top and produces its long trumpet-shaped fruits. Looking forward to that. Those make a really good winter squash and a summer squash. And then the beans. Look at the beans. They're really coming up in the world. These are as tall as I am, not from the ground, from the soil they're planted in, but from the ground. So they're probably 3 feet, a little over 3 feet. I'm not really very tall. I'm about 5'2". These kales are doing very good. The thing I need to watch for, and I go through here once or twice a day because I'm a helicopter parent that way, is I go through and I watch for the little worms. And I've just been hand picking the worms so far, but I'm going to be doing some neem in here so that I can get some of those. Yep, we got lots of, oh, we got one right there. One right there that's going to be opening. I'm so excited. Yeah, it'll probably be a male. I see a male. I can show you the difference here. That is a female with that bulb on the base, and this one here, that one right next to it, that is a male. So those two together are a good thing if they open at the same time. We have our first eggplant forming nicely here. How about that? Have that for dinner pretty soon. The cucumber there. I sowed more of the dragon's egg cuke and the this German one that I'm not going to try and pronounce it because I have to read it in order to pronounce it properly. I did take German one year in college, or excuse me, in high school, and yeah, when I stopped taking it, my teacher actually nearly cried. He said, "You have the best handle of the German pronunciation of any student I've ever had. You think I would have listened? Heck no, I was only 16, 17 years old. What did I know? How different life could have been, right? You never know where learning a language will take you." Anyway, oh, and I wanted to show you this. Again, this is the pollinator pool where the little bees can get up in there and work. I still need to find a better place for that. And I have a bird bath. Excuse me, let's go back here so I can show you this, because otherwise it's not going to show up. I'm going to put a big bird bath in there. It's going to be a shallow bird bath, though. That's important. You don't want them too deep because the birds don't like deep bird baths. And I'm going to have one of those little solar fountains in it so that they can get in there and take a little splash and get rinsed off. Now the hummingbirds love that kind of stuff, especially if there's little rocks they can sit on and that. So I'm going to be making a place for them, because right overhead we have that. This is one of my favorite hummingbird feeders, and I've used several. It is put out by Aspect, and it's a completely guaranteed hummingbird feeder. It has a little moat in it. I need to actually take this down and take a look at it. But you can see the moat there. That keeps the ants from getting into it. I recommend these. They run around, I think, $25. But I've had those for 10, 15 years. I've had to replace one thing on it. It was no question. Here, have a new part. No big deal. Everything here is looking so full and lush. I've sown nothing in this bed for a long time, and it is looking great. This is what's good about doing this way. Anyhow, tomatillo's doing, or not, yeah, not the tomatillo, the ground cherries are doing really well. Happy for those. We'll have some seeds off of this large leaf plantain pretty soon. I've got zinnia here, zinnia back there. This is another flower I sowed, and I couldn't tell you what it is right now because I just got out here one day after I mentioned that I kept hearing that you need to plant more flowers, plant more flowers. So we planted more flowers, and I've got flowers coming up everywhere. So this will be interesting in a month to see what happens. This is all supposed to be Alaska, but I don't see the variegation on most of these. That's a little, I'm gonna have to let the seed company know, because I bought those this year. And guys, if you have seeds that don't come true to what they say they're supposed to be, let the seed company know. A lot of times these seed company buys seeds from other producers, growers who produce the seeds, and they need to know, because that'll help them to make a decision on whether they're going to buy from them again, or maybe the grower needs to change their practices and they didn't realize it. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? That African blue basil. I just love this plant. It has such wonderful color. I'm trying to get some color. There we go. That's a pretty good shot. Wonderful color. These beautiful purple stems in the backs, and then the flowers. The bees adore this plant. Oh, speaking of flowers, my beans are about ready to flower. Isn't that great? Yep. I'm gonna get over here in the shade. so I can talk without the sun being in my eyes. Anyway, I want to thank you for spending time with me today, and I just really appreciate it. I apologize for not getting a video out earlier this week. It has been kind of an unusual week for me personally, and sometimes life gets in the way. It's not a big deal, just saying, it just got in the way, and I had to take care of important things. You guys are important to me too, but you're not top on the list, unfortunately. But I want to thank you all for your support, for spending time with me. Please, if you have questions, leave them in the comments below. I appreciate the comments, and as most of you know, most often I write a response of some kind back, and other than just clicking a like. So I try to let you know that you're important to me. Yes, you are important. This is my community that I'm building, and I appreciate your being a part of my community. You are important. We all learn together in this process. Thank you so much for being a part of my channel. If you have tips that might help me in my garden, hey, I've gardened for a long time, but vegetables are not my forte. Herbs, perennials, I can do those till the cows come home. That's where I'm really good. It's the vegetables that I have a hard time with, and it's because I need to slow down and learn to do the little things well. That's what I'm learning this year. So, with that said, I want to thank you again. If you like this video, please hit the like button on your way out. If you want to see more, subscribe. And if you don't want to miss anything, click that bell so you get the notifications. Thank you so much. One of these days, I'll review the full of what the tinker has been constructing behind me here. You may have gotten a glimpse of it. I'm hoping he doesn't get a little irritated. He's wanted to keep it secret, and I don't blame him. It's really going to be beautiful, and it'll be a really nice addition to our backyard area. This is a part of our home. Capture your landscape as a part of your home and use it accordingly. You'll enjoy it much more, and it won't be such a burden just mowing that lawn. Anyway, this is Patty, the tinker's wife, saying goodbye and God bless. Have a happy Friday.